is up, everybody? Welcome on in. It is Wednesday, December 11th. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we're almost done with this year of our Lord 2024? Well, believe it or not, it's almost over. Kind of can't believe it myself, but yeah, we're almost through it. We actually have some really fun, nerdy topics to get into today, man. We got to talk about Skeleton Kids episode 3. It's all right. Want to get into that a little bit for the few among you that care. We'll get into that. We'll talk about that. Kraven the Hunter is totally fucked. And I find this to be absolutely hilarious. We're gonna read a little bit more. Oh, what the hell? We're gonna read a little bit of how badly this thing is going as far as box office projections. But also, we have the first social media reactions for Kraven. Let's just say I think we're gonna have a lot of fun going over the first reactions for Kraven. I think that's going to be really cool. Then we have comments from Benedict Cumberbatch about coming back to the role of Doctor Strange for Doomsday, and working with the Russo brothers, Robert Downey Jr. It's actually pretty cool, man. He had a lot to say yesterday, and there's a great article that kind of summarizes all of it. So it'll be cool. We'll get into it. It's going to be fun. Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll get into some Q&A. Maybe we'll talk some Warhammer, hopefully. I'm still riding high on the Warhammer news from yesterday. So if anybody wants to talk Warhammer, throw a question into the chat. No worries on that. We'll definitely talk some Warhammer if you want to. Speaking of Warhammer, last night we streamed on Twitch. Had a really fun stream. We began the stream by watching the latest Warhammer thing, which is the secret level episode in that anthology they did at Amazon. It was cool, man. Shout out to everybody that was there. Fuego. Shout out to you, brother, for being there last night on Twitch. And I think a lot of people, after watching that animation last night, they were like, yo, this shit is lit. Like, I get where you're coming from, Josh. This is pretty damn crazy. I'm all in on Warhammer. Is basically what everybody said. So amazing. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend it. It's super cool. It gives you a nice taste of not only like the lore, but just like the vibe of Warhammer. Man, the Space Marines just being hard as nails, absolutely decimating their enemies. Oh, so cool. We then played some Marvel Rivals. We played a few games with Rob from Comics Explained. Shout out to Rob. Had some really good games together. There was one game in particular where Rob and I both had 34 kills, led the team. I had one less death than him, but who's keeping track, right? Really? But that was fun, man. Got to play with a lot of you guys. That was cool. I had a good time last night, just chilling with chat, playing some Marvel Rivals, watching some Warhammer stuff. Which kind of brings me to a question that I have for you guys, okay? Now, I'm gonna ask you this question, and then we'll put it to a poll later when more people get into the stream. But tonight at 7:30, we're supposed to do a Nerdvenger stream, a members-only stream. Okay, which, by the way, I'm totally down to do. We could do that. We could deep dive on Daredevil. There's probably some other things we could do, too, because I feel like we're running a bit dry on Daredevil videos and everything like that. So we could absolutely do that. But just because Marvel Rivals is out right now and it's kind of popping off, I was thinking we could do another Marvel Rivals Twitch stream tonight. I could plan on being live around the same time, 7:30. We could play Marvel Rivals with the community. Maybe we try a little ranked. I think that would be fun, man. So you guys let me know. Just, let me know your thoughts. And then we'll put it up to a poll later. I'll reintroduce the idea later on as well, and we'll get into it there. So, yeah, Andreas, that's your King Wave, right, brother? Yeah, we did good. We did good last night, huh? Yeah, I think that would be fun. I think it's Rivals time. Exclusive Daredevil Born Again. Yeah, but isn't it just this image of him? New look at Charlie Cox and Daredevil Born Again. I mean, what else is even in here? Here, I'll briefly look it over. Brother, come on, man. You cannot actually be sending me this link here. One image and a bunch of SEO goobly glob on a web page. Come on, brother. Come on. Hey, comics things. Do better. Hey, do better, okay? I mean, I'm excited for Daredevil, just as excited as the next guy. This image is Charlie Cox standing in front of fucking water, brother. Like, there's nothing, there's nothing to this. Why did the Space Marine armor look like the Fallout armor? I'm not really sure. I mean, I think that's a good question. I mean, they're obviously different. I don't know which one came first. I would venture to say it was Warhammer. Warhammer is very, very old. But I don't know enough about Fallout to rule out like Fallout, happening first or whatever. It's possible the Fallout one just literally took inspiration from Space Marines. Fandango did a survey for the most anticipated movies of 2025, and Captain America got #1. I did see that, and Superman was like 9th. Superman was pretty low on that list, which is kind of interesting. I wonder, I mean, with that kind of a poll, you're likely looking at a lot of normies, a lot of like just regular movie goers. So I guess to them, like Captain America just has like more draw. They generally like the Marvel stuff. So yeah, it's just weird, right? Like I saw that too. I was like, that's wild. But kind of on that, excited for 2025 in the channel potential. Let's go, David Saunders. I appreciate it, brother. Hope you and the fam are doing well, bro. I'm feeling so good about next year. Actually, I'm feeling really good about the next couple of years for the channel and for the brand. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'm working on behind the scenes, a lot of stuff we're trying to put in place. But we out here. You know what I mean? We out here. What's this new Amazon show where we see the Invincible Season 3 scoop? I'm not sure what you mean. Where we see the Invincible Season 3 scoop. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean there, Mike. Not sure what you mean. Cap, more draw than Soups? Wild. Yeah, but I mean, to us, that seems wild. But I think to just the wider audiences out there, like, really think about how Superman has performed in the pop culture zeitgeist. It's kind of interesting. It foreshadows some of the stuff that Benedict Cumberbatch is talking about. But, I think this is actually a really interesting point because many of us in here, like, I don't know how exactly, like, how old you all are. I know we have, like, an 18 to 45, like, majority. That's, like, where we're at, right? But many of us grew up and experienced pop culture before the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? And the Marvel Cinematic Universe, particularly in those last few years into Endgame and Infinity War, like 2018, 2019, 2020. Well, it might have been a year prior, but that was like we've never seen shit like that. That's as close as the new generation will ever get to probably like the OG Star Wars. Like when Star Wars first came out, it was a global phenomenon. People like would go see it so many different times. It stayed in theaters for almost a whole year. It changed movies forever, right? The Marvel Cinematic Universe and Endgame and Infinity War really did change pop culture. Like, it's weird. Even the fact that so many people know of Doctor Strange and Thanos, like, prior to Marvel, and again, the real end cap, pop off, right? Bro, that was crazy. Nobody knew who fucking Thanos was. I promise you, when the first Avengers post-credit scene happened, and Thanos turned his head, I promise you, 99% of the people in the theater were like, who the fuck was that? Like, that's what it was. And then Doc Strange, are you kidding me? Like, the idea of Doctor Strange being anywhere near as popular as some of the DC characters is, like, mind-boggling. But Marvel literally changed the landscape. Now Thanos is like Darth Vader. Everybody knows Thanos. You hear Thanos referenced in all sorts of conversations, sports, media. Just like, dude, it's the Drake Kendrick thing. People are talking about Thanos and then Doom. It's like, man, Marvel really did something that I think we don't really fully appreciate. I mean, I fully appreciate it because it literally changed my life, right? But I think a lot of we just don't fully appreciate how different things are now because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It really did change things. Sup, Josh? The Star Wars rant yesterday was hilarious. Accurate AF, but hilarious. Let the hate flow, says Sire1 over on Twitch. Well, I appreciate it. I try to be chill and fair when it comes to Star Wars, but I also acknowledge that, like, they shit in my cereal, bro, and I'm really mad about it. I actually lose a lot of my ability to control myself, my ability to be articulate. I lose my restraint. I become unhinged. The toxicity flows out of all of my Orpheuses. That's what Star Wars does to me. So I'm glad you appreciated the rant, but oh man, I wish I would have been able to keep it bottled up inside just a little bit more. Danny says with a 5 spot, when I was 12, the guy sitting beside me at the end of Avengers, after I asked who that is, he deadass told me that's the guy who killed Superman. What the fuck? Oh man, okay. And did that get you excited or what? What, you aren't hyped about Jabba's son casting? I mean, it's just so sad, bro. It's just so sad. Yeah. But you know what? I think that's a perfect opportunity to just get into the news, baby. Let's start by beginning by starting, and we'll set this thing off. Let's talk about Skeleton Kids Episode 3. Guys, did you watch Skeleton Kids Episode 3? I watched it, not upon release, but later in the evening. And in fact, the first thing we watched was some of the Arcane episodes. Not to totally divert into Arcane talk, but man, the back half of that season is really good. Arcane started off pretty like for me, but Arcane is, dude, towards the end of the season, holy shit, it's absolutely incredible. So I was playing Marvel Rivals with y'all on stream last night when Skeleton Crew came out. I wasn't even sure if I was going to watch it last night. I figured I would because I told you guys I would watch the show. I would give it a fair shake. I would try to, actually cover it rather than just shit on it completely and just be hateful and all of that sort of stuff. So with that in mind, I put Skeleton Crew Episode 3 on. And, to my surprise, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I have the same issues that I have with the first 2 episodes. I think that it's a mismatch for me personally, as far as tone. The Amblin tone is not Star Wars to me. That Super 8, J.J. Abrams, friggin' Spielberg shit. That's not Star Wars to me. I understand it's a good vibe. I understand it's nostalgic for people. I even understand people feeling like it's Star Wars adjacent, or certain people, like I know Eck has experienced kinds of media that feel similar to that in the expanded universe. And so, he feels that it's more acceptable or whatever, and maybe just likes the show, likes the vibe. That didn't change. And there were parts of the show that I didn't really love. But I will say this. Jude Law, as a character, was great casting. And he's really good acting off of these child actors, and thank God they got him in the show. I would have maybe shrunk the first 2 episodes into a singular episode just to try to get Jude Law into this shit faster, because I mean, and this is a personal thing, but for me, like, I can't stand these fucking kids. So for me, they're so much better when they have like an actual adult in the room and the ability to work off of that. On top of that, man, we actually get some really cool lore. Old Republic, these hidden gem planets, this owl type character that is, surveying and collecting data on the entire universe. That's really interesting. The Old Republic credits and the fact that maybe money is the thing here. Crimson Jack, which is a crazy deep cut. I think somebody told me there were 2 versions of Crimson Jack, but definitely like an old school bounty hunter Dash Rendar type character from Marvel Star Wars comics in like the 70s or 80s. Pretty wild. So there's a lot of stuff in this episode in particular that I enjoyed. And the mystery and the way it's unfolding, and you know, can he actually use the Force or not, right? There's a lot of stuff that's operating in this episode and in the show overall that I'm enjoying, you know? So I got to give credit where credit is due. Now, having said all of that, and Siri 1, appreciate the gifted over on Twitch. Having said all that, guys, I still don't really, like, feel anything. You know? Like, I just got to be real. It's not like I enjoyed the episode and then felt great about Star Wars or even felt great about the rest of this series or felt great about life or felt great in general. You know? Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy has been a dementor, and it's sucked out all of my fucking joy. So I don't even feel anything. Like, I just got to be real. My reaction was more like, hey, not bad. As far as redundant-ass Star Wars shows for a dead-ass brand that nobody gives a fuck about and I'm going to put on just because I told Chad I would, not bad. It's literally where I'm at with it. You know, I'll keep watching. Maybe the show and the mystery and the intrigue will build to a certain place where I'm generally or actually genuinely engaged and feeling something. But yeah, I just got to be real, man. As much as I give the show credit where I think credit is due, it's not doing anything for me. It's not moving the needle for me at all. I think we'll all just forget about this show in about a month. Yeah, so I don't I don't know what to tell you. I guess I'll open it up for comment, question, concern. You know, when you guys if you have any thoughts on Skeleton Crew. I also will just say we've been talking about this, but Luminant numbers are suggesting that basically nobody is watching this show. We will wait to get maybe some Samba numbers. We'll wait to get some numbers from Nielsen. But, correct me if I'm wrong, Disney has not come out and said shit about the viewership of this show. Is that not true? Because if they had something to say that was good, they would say it. Kind of like what they did with Ahsoka, right? They came out after Ahsoka. I believe they even came out after Acolyte. So for them to not be saying anything about the viewership at all, it's kind of telling. I mean, I don't think anybody's watching the show. And when I say not anybody watching the show, of course, I'm not being literal, guys. I'm watching the show because I told you I would. And I'm a man of my word. And I know there's like, I don't know, a couple 100,000 Star Wars fans that are going to show up regardless every single time. I mean, frankly, I'm of that number. You know what I mean? Like, I thought about tweeting something to the effect of like, I can't fucking stand what KK has done to Star Wars. Holy shit. Time to roll the dice on this new episode of Skeleton Crew, though. That's what it is, right? Like, we've been beaten, we've been abused, we keep coming back for more. The joke's on us. The point I'm making about viewership is, though, I think a lot of that has dwindled. I really, truly do not think a lot of people are watching the show. We'll see. But there you go. There's your take on Skeleton Kids. So on to Star Wars Celebration Tokyo 2025. Maybe Mando Grogu hype. I mean, in order for me to get hyped up about Mando Grogu, I would have to hear something that sounds hype about Mando and Grogu. You know, now look, I think there's a real potential that they're shooting stuff with Luke Skywalker. Nobody's really talking about that right now. I think it could be real. And, yeah, I mean, that's exciting. That would be cool. But, yeah. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like we're kind of polishing the brass on the Titanic. I mean, we're going to see, right? Skeleton, or, we'll get the numbers on Skeleton Kids, and then also we'll get the numbers on Mando and Grogu. They can't really hide from the box office of Mando and Grogu. Now, I think they're going to throw a young Luke in there, and potentially, I mean, depending on how box office tracking goes for it, they're going to have to get desperate and put that in the marketing. But, yeah, will that work? I mean, I guess that's the ultimate test, man. If Star Wars has truly eroded to the point where young Luke Skywalker, prime Luke Skywalker, can no longer drive ticket sales, I mean... Trev says, I think the Jeremy Allen White news is a red herring to distract him being something else for Luke reshoots. Some people believe that, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you this. There's some evidence that Pedro Pascal is shooting some stuff for Mando and Grogu right now. There was an image on social media yesterday. I believe it was somebody that worked in makeup posting Pedro, and it looks like he's shooting. Okay, so look, I mean, I don't want to go full ass into it, but I think they're shooting some secret stuff right now. I don't even care if they add him at this point. I mean, I could probably say that I don't and feel like I'm being honest in this moment, but I also know myself, and like as soon as I see a flash of that green or, you know, R2 or him in the black or something, bro, I'm going to stand at attention. You know, like that, it is what it is. So they probably will get me, but they probably had me either way. It's more like people like Justin. Can they get people like Justin with a Luke Skywalker? Because my God, if they can't, they're going to be facing down some Kraven level disappointment. Okay, let's change subjects. Let's talk about Kraven the Hunter. Ladies and gentlemen, amazing things are happening with regards to Kraven the Hunter, okay? So, you know, we talked about this briefly yesterday, but the box office tracking is so goddamn bad. And I really wanted to bring this up, especially because of the bet that Adam made me. I had said, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, I had said, I think Kraven won't even make 50 million domestic. Adam was like, it will absolutely make 50 million. I bet anything, your terms, it's going to make 50 million domestic. What a foolish thing to say by Adam. Okay, so let's look at this. Box office, Kraven the Hunter aims for week 15 million in opening weekend. Kraven the Hunter could get declawed in its big screen debut. The comic book spin-off set in Sony's universe of Marvel characters, which is about to be canceled, is targeting a paltry 13 to 15 million. By the way, we're about to talk about the reviews. This number's going down, I guarantee. From 3,200 theaters in its opening weekend. Based on projections, Kraven the Hunter could contend with February's misfire, Madam Web, 15.3 for the ignominious distinction of the lowest start among the Sony-produced Marvel adventures. Aaron Taylor Johnson stars. I mean, it's just crazy, brother. Kraven cost upward of $110 million to produce. It was greenlit for 90, but ballooned after years writer strikes and stuff. Ended up being much more than Madam Web, which was at 80 million. So if it does less than Madam Web, it is more of a bomb than Madam Web because it costs 30 million more and probably a bit more on marketing as well, because they did really try to convince us that Kraven was going to be the one. You know? Okay, so that's what they're looking at here, guys, and like truly awful, right? Truly awful box office projections for Kraven. Now let's look at this. This is gonna bring some joy into your heart, unless you're Adam. Okay, I want my money back. Kraven the Hunter movie's first reviews and reactions are not good. Now, I saw Paul from Heavy Spoilers talking about this, and holy shit, was it funny. He basically said that normally people on the social media reactions will go a little easy. I mean, usually the pattern is with the social media reaction, you're a little bit more chill. And then when you get into the actual Rotten Tomato thing, you know, you're a little bit more harsh, right? Kraven the Hunter had its first screenings, but early opinions are not doing Sony any favors. Great article here, aggregated by Richard Nebbins. Richard's a good guy. Kraven the Hunter had its first showings for critics, and it's safe to say that it is not performing well by any measure. Aaron Taylor Johnson is set to play his second Marvel character in Kraven the Hunter, Sony's most recent film in the Spider-Man universe. Unfortunately, as with its predecessors, it's not expected to be a hit. Early box office projections for Kraven are underwhelming at best. It's predicted to finish its opening weekend with only 20 to 25 million domestic haul. It's already lower than that. Add to that the negativity surrounding this franchise, and the solo film is already looking at an uphill battle. First critic reviews for Kraven the Hunter, social media reaction. Sony Pictures hosted a few critic screenings for the latest edition of Sony's Spider-Man universe, Kraven the Hunter. The results from those early screenings are not promising, as critics did not look favorably upon Kraven. YouTuber Chris Parker enjoyed Aaron Taylor Johnson's performance, but called it everything else a drag, noting that the cast was held back by clunky, dull dialogue. So here's what Chris said. Kraven the Hunter is fun when Johnson is in action causing bloody chaos, but everything else is a drag. Great cast held back by clunky, dull dialogue. Another instance of a villain turned hero. The story lacks any intrigue. Rhino and Chameleon wasted. Overall, a disappointment. Here, let's see what Chris Gallardo says. Sony's Spider-Man universe doesn't go with a bang, but a whimper. Kraven the Hunter is cliche at all turns. ATJ tries to make the most of it, yet the script holds it back. Action is a bit fun, but it's modeled with much pompous exposition. Okay. Let's see what Leo Rydell says. So, Kraven the Hunter is a big old bucket of nah. While I liked the action, it cut away from it so quickly, one didn't get to enjoy it. Awful acting, terrible script, and a waste of Aaron Taylor Johnson, who I actually enjoyed in the role. Way too quick. Not a great story. Farewell. Holy shit, dude. They are drawing up the obituaries for this thing. Let's see what Andrew J. Salazar says. Kraven the Hunter was probably a solid action movie at one point, but the usual Sony antics are all here. Painful ADR, choppy editing, and a ton of lifeless CGI animals. Not worth the ticket price, but there are like 3 scenes that I'm super excited to see as new memes. Yo! Super excited for the memes. That's incredible. Oh, look, Screen Cut video producer Colton said, I want my money back, and the screening was free. You know, Colton and I don't always see eye to eye, but credit where credit is due. All-time great tweet. Unbelievable. Okay, let's see what Brandon Norwood says. Kraven the Hunter is one of the most soulless movies ever made. Bro, what? Holy shit. Even J.C. Chandler has made something so soulless and generic. Kraven with a K. Oh my God, bro. Damn, you could say the claws are out for Kraven. Whoa, wow, wee, wow. Again, these are the social media reviews. These are when you're supposed to go soft on the movie. Okay, Sean Tajapur was on the other side of the argument. Okay, let's see what he says here. Kraven the Hunter is a knockout. What? Aaron Taylor Johnson embodies Kraven with his physique, charisma, and raw savagery. The R rating pays off big time. The film is bloody, raw, brutal, while offering a story that does this iconic villain justice. I'm dying for more Kraven after what I just experienced in IMAX. Wow. Grace Randolph also liked it, which, again, no disrespect to the Queen, Grace, but usually it's a good metric to take, like, the opposite of her opinion. Like, she's really good with business insight, really good at breaking stuff down. Her opinion as a critic is usually like a not a North Star, but like a South Star. You know what I mean? It's pretty incredible. But here's what she said. So I'm seeing the other people post reactions. So I guess the social media embargo has lifted. Kraven the Hunter, I loved it. As good as the first Venom, I would watch it again. Wow, what an interesting hot take by Grace. Again, results may vary, mileage may vary on how you feel about that one. Liam Crowley says, Kraven excels in action, but ultimately just doesn't have the sauce. Strange story, structure, decisions, overwhelmingly brutal ADR, and an overall disbelief in characters themselves. Crow was the only one who sold his dialogue, leagues above most of the SSU, but still lacks. Quite interesting there, huh? Quite interesting. And then this guy says, Russ Maliam says, Kraven the Hunter is exactly the film you'd expect at this point. The film doesn't understand a single character it tries to adapt the screen, and the whole movie often feels created by AI. Holy shit! Oh my God! Brutal, bro. Brutal. Wow. Okay, and so look, here's the deal. You take into account the general consensus from audience. I mean, I think Sony has just like wrung out all of the goodwill they possibly can. Like they took it like it was a sponge and just wrung it out as much as they possibly could. They took every drop of goodwill that the fans were willing to give them, and they have drained it out of us, man. Like I just, that's why it's tracking so low just already. Okay. What's supposed to happen the week of, and remember, they released the 8 minutes of footage last week to try to build hype for it. I don't think it moved the needle at all, to the point where they removed 1,000 screenings of it. And we're hearing reports in the Hollywood trades that this is like the last one, which is crazy. Because what that implies is that Sony is trying to distance themselves from this film. You literally had a report in the Hollywood trades about how this is the last one. So they don't even want association with this thing. They don't want you to think this is them anymore. They took it away from 1,000+ theaters. They're just sending it out to pasture at this point. You get this review, like these social media reviews, and then I cannot wait to see what the actual Rotten Tomatoes are. That's probably going to drop later today. That's probably going to come out in the afternoon, I would suspect. I'm not exactly sure on that, but that's what I think. And you combine all of that, and I think this movie bombs even worse than they're projecting right now. Because, like, there are some people that were maybe going to see it anyways, and the reasons to not go see it are just stacking up. It's the last one. It's Jover. It's not even good, apparently. Like, you are getting so many. So I think this movie is going to perform even worse than Madam Web. I continue to believe it's not going to hit 50 million domestic. And holy shit, really and truly, I mean, Sony really deserves this. You know, and I thought that the one person's review where they said, like, at one point this was probably a good action movie, and then Sony just messed it all up, like cut it to shit and just ADR'd it to oblivion. I believe that. I mean, they just literally cannot help themselves. And the conception of the idea of doing a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man has proven to be very silly, you know? And any kind of bells and whistles, any kind of angle that you have on this, it doesn't matter. You're so far gone, okay? Now, I will say one thing, though, and I'm going to dig a little deeper on the whole, like, new plan for Spider-Man. I'll probably put a video out in the next couple of days that's, like, you know, a longer, well-produced video that talks about this. But Alex Perez said something really interesting yesterday about how they're done and they're just going to focus on collaboration for the next few years, which just implies, like, multiversal stuff, right, with Marvel. And he said, like, it's possible they get their shit together when Marvel reboots. That's Alex said that. That is so interesting. That's something I've kind of been speculating about. It's like their best chance is to line up something new when Marvel does a soft reboot. So it's like everything's new and this is our new shit. We got a Spider-Man now or whatever, right? So I don't know. I mean, at some point, it's like, yeah, they just have made this bet and they deserve it. But it's still nonetheless kind of funny to watch the ship actually sink into the ocean. I am getting more enjoyment from this than I have from any of the Sony Marvel movies. So I will open it up to discussion. Any thoughts, comments, questions, concern. MCU Drew says with a 5-spot, appreciate you, man. Said, Nerdvengers need to unite and go see Kraven 50 times each so Josh loses another bet. Yeah, but I got to tell you, I think, because trust me, that's a motivating factor for some people. But I think Sony has done such a good job of giving you reasons to not see it that I don't even think people are going to go do that. That's how sad it is. Laryl, thank you for the 99 cents, brother. That's the best 99 cents I've ever received. Thank you. Brandon. Or rather, Braden says, how much money do we think Sony has lost in total from their SSU? Well, it's hard to say because that first Venom movie and even the new Venom movie actually have done pretty well. So Venom's kind of like eked out a profit somehow. And it's hard to say. Like, I guess what we're asking is, like, are they losing enough on, like, Madam Web, Morbius, and this to cut into Venom's profit? I would say, yeah. But I don't really know. I don't know to what degree. Bring back the blue hair. It's not at 200. Dude, it was white hair, and it was for one stream. Holy. They need to put Association back in association with Marvel. Yeah, I definitely think they need to work on that. I mean, they've got some good stuff cooking, like the Spider Noir thing is huge for them. Will you pay the $20 rental for Watch Party, though, right? Wait, what? For this? For Kraven? Nah, probably not, brother. Rossi says, Noah, Ben, and I are seeing Kraven tomorrow. See, there you go. Nerdvengers, represent. I am not going to see this movie. I'd actually rather see the Lord of the Rings movie. Partially because I was talking to Matt about it, Nerd of the Rings, and I want to see it for myself, and then we could have a discussion about it. But, yeah. RJ Brando says, let's all rejoice the SSU is officially shrinking into the abyss. They built a life raft out of toilet paper and expected a yacht. Well put, sir. Well put, sir. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what they did, huh? I mean, maybe if some of the other ones had been better, it would have worked out. But, like, they also just didn't make great movies. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. This is a really funny thing that we will all think back to. Remember when Sony tried to do a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man? Those fucking idiots. Like, that's essentially what it's going to amount to. Yeah. Look, lucky for them, it seems like Venom is still popular enough. If they really do an Agent Venom thing, I think that could actually pop. That could be great. But they'll have to figure out, you know, how to do that properly around the time of the reboot or something like that. Matt Connors, thank you for the $1. I'm such a cheap whore. I'll shake my ass for $1. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to shake my ass, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. They hired the worst writers possible, and it shows. I don't know that they hired, like, did they hire the best people in the world? No, but I really think it's, like, the executives. I think it's the culture over there. I just think they don't get it, bro. Like, they don't get it. Watched Secret Level last night. What the fuck is everyone dark, hopeless, twisted? It's all the same. Well, I only watched the Warhammer one. And Warhammer is dark, hopeless, and twisted, but it's always been like that, so it feels right at home for me. By the way, what if I just, like, died on stream like that? Noah and Ben took me hostage. Ben saw Madam Web 3 times. Wow. Okay, that's good to know. If you guys want to talk about Warhammer, by the way, they actually updated a bunch of the rules. Oh my god, I'm so excited. The Custodes finally got better rules, baby. RJ Brendo, thanks for the 12 bucks. Says also 12 months. Take my money. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the love, man. Thank you for the support. If you die, I can't lose the bet. That's true. That is true. Man, can I just go on a little Warhammer tangent? Just a small one. Just a small one. So I got into Warhammer at the end of 9th edition, and the Custodes were absurd. They were so strong. I was just getting into the game. I was like, yo, I'm playing the fucking badass demigods. Like, I'm killing everybody. This shit is awesome. And within that, there were these bikes, literally like floating motorcycles that are all golden and shit. And, bro, the bikes were so good. Oh, my God. I would shit on my friends with the bikes. Okay? Then we switched to 10th edition. And my bikes are absolute bullshit. I have like 30 bikes, bro. Like, I've got like a lot of bikes. And they're all bullshit. Like, their stats were changed. Their rules were changed. It was horrible. Well, guess what they finally did? Guess what they finally did? They fixed the bikes. Oh, my God. They made the toughness go up. They made their wounds go up. They adjusted their abilities. They made their weapons on the range more powerful. Holy shit. The bikes are back and they're gonna fix Warhammer. Hell yeah. I'm so excited. I'm actually trying to play some Warhammer this weekend. In fact, let me see what my buddy said here. He didn't get back to me yet. But we're trying to play some Warhammer this weekend, boys. Delta Dan says, bye-bye, Sony Marvel. If Colton hates it, it must really suck, dude. Liked Acolyte. Dude liked Acolyte? Wow. My 3 and 6-year-olds really liked Skeleton Kids. Much love. Nerd Vengers for life. 3 amigos. I'm glad kids are liking it, man. You know, like, look, I just got to be real. I'm glad people are liking it. I think this episode was better. I still have my issues with the show, and I don't think it's saving it, Star Wars. But, I mean, it's a little bit of a dub for a lot of people. So, like, yeah, we'll take it. Matt Connor says, shake it, LOL. Bro, the ship has been sinking for Sony for a long-ass time, and we've been yelling iceberg. Sony didn't listen. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct, and hopefully they will listen in the future. You know what I mean? Like, the Nerd Vengers specifically, the people that watch this channel, the people in this community, we're a great, great focus group. Like, we really are. So they should just... Honestly, they should watch the channel, the chats. They should watch the videos. And they should give us access to screenings and stuff. We would watch it for free and give them notes. You know? Can you imagine? The Nerd Vengers become the gatekeepers of pop culture content. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Joshua says, the only reason I'm watching Kraven is I'm a Marvel simp and watch every movie at least once. There's nothing wrong with that, man. I might get to Kraven eventually. We're also incredibly smart and good looking. That is true. That is true. We are the best. We are kind of the best. Aaron Taylor Johnson fumbled DCU up next. Yeah, I wonder what's next for him. The rumors were that he was going to be James Bond. So, I mean, talk about failing upwards. If that happens, that's incredible for him. By the way, I have nothing against the guy. I think he's a good actor. I haven't really seen him in a bunch of shit, if I'm being honest. But, yeah, I wish him well. Oh, Aaliyah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I've heard, but we don't know. I think there's some people that watch us that maybe report to people, you know. We'll see. I still refuse to watch Morbius. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it for years. We ended up watching it kind of as a meme on Twitch. And I had a good time watching it with y'all, but holy shit, it's terrible. It's terrible. By the way, Chad, now that we've got more people in here, I'm going to reintroduce this idea and we're going to go to the polls. So tonight we have a scheduled Nerd Venger stream. And that is a stream that we do with just the members behind this, the scenes. And I have no problem doing that stream tonight at 7:30 as is scheduled. But Marvel Rivals is out and it's kind of popping, and we've been playing with the community and it's kind of fun. So I was also thinking maybe we just play Marvel Rivals on Twitch again. So I leave it up to you. You can vote in this poll. What do you guys want to do tonight at 7:30? You want to do some Daredevil deep diving? Watch some crazy stuff? Or should we play Marvel Rivals together? You tell me. You tell me. Okay. Let's get into the next news topic of the day. Benedict Cumberbatch. This is over on Deadline. Benedict Cumberbatch talks Doctor Strange, Oscars, and staying grounded. I'm not afraid to tackle darkness as long as I know there's a space to take that off. Wow. Benedict Cumberbatch is at Saudi Arabia's Red Sea Film Festival this week for the MENA premiere of John Crowley's tragic romance We Live in Time, starring Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh Pugh, which he executive produced under Sonny March banner. I didn't know that. That's cool. After hitting the red carpet in the port city of Jeddah on Monday evening in the company of Garfield, Cumberbatch was in the spotlight in his own right in an on-stage conversation today. Among 30 conversations by A-listers this festival, Cumberbatch talked with the best attended so far, with fans of his performances as Doctor Strange in the Marvel Cinematic Universe filling the auditorium. True. True. Yo, Verse, I'll get into that in just a second, brother. Thank you. These are big sand pits. They're grand gestures. When they're really good, they carry something of the zeitgeist, he said of Marvel Productions. They speak to us of our culture. They're kind of myths now, and they are so much fun to do. And then the wealth of talent you're surrounded by is truly awe-inspiring and a little humbling and scary, he said. Beyond being daunted by the scale of the sets, mixing tangible 360-degree stuff with green screen, Cumberbatch admitted to being initially overwhelmed by Robert Downey Jr. when he found himself face-to-face with him as Tony Stark in Infinity War. It was just looking at Robert Downey Jr. and how does he do it? It's extraordinary. And there is a way that he does it. And I learned that. And it's incredible. But also to watch him with Tom Holland, who was hot off the success of the first Spider-Man film. And they were bam, bam, bam. And I'll just stop there for a second because I think that's absolutely true. Like, Robert Downey Jr. does not get enough credit for being as absolutely incredible as he is. He definitely has a method to his madness. He likes to do a lot of takes. He likes to keep things fresh. Very creative in his craft. And, even RDJ himself said that, he did some of his best work as an actor in the MCU. And some people just look past it because of the genre and some of the bias that's towards that and everything, right? So it's sad, but it is kind of interesting that even an actor on the level of Cumberbatch can just express how mind-blowing RDJ is on set. And this is another reason why it's incredible to have RDJ back. He elevates everybody he works with, dude. He really and truly elevates everybody that he works with. Man, he has turned in some incredible scenes. Holy shit. Pretty wild. Cumberbatch finally got into his groove on set when he started having fun and upped the banter with Downey, adding an unscripted douchebag to one of his lines in response to the insults his character had been on the receiving end of until now. The best stuff on those huge canvases, things with huge amount of responsibility and expectations of all the amazing devoted fans, is to play and have fun and be free, to keep it alive and keep the breath in it. Keep it from becoming stale and readable. Yeah, so the opposite of Kraven the Hunter. And that's I'm taking another shot, but I'm also being kind of dead ass, man. It does need to feel real. And I think especially when you look at the best stuff in the Infinity Saga, it feels real. There's play, there's subtext to the performances, to the communication. It's they really did grab great performances out of these actors. Again, I don't think they get enough credit for it. Describing Stephen Strange as a very complex man, Cumberbatch suggested the character had more to give. He's dicing with something that could destroy him, and pretty much everything. And yet, he's not a god. He's not been bitten by a radioactive spider. He hasn't got a load of nanotech that his billions in selling, or his father's billions selling arms, has bought him, he said. He's a SWAT. He's an academic. He just got a really fierce brain, but he is motivated by needing to control certain things at any cost. And that always comes at a cost. So I'm interested to see what those costs continue to be, how it wears on him, and how he needs to adapt to keep evolving to be what he needs to be in that universe, and how it affects him. There's a lot more to play with. It is very exciting. Yeah, and I think that's true. Now, on the one hand, it's like, okay, he's just kind of like saying some basic stuff about Marvel and like the character, etc., right? But on the other hand, there's questions of if Doctor Strange 3 is going to be coming out before or around Secret Wars. This could potentially be one of the Battle World movies, right? So we're kind of excited to see how that goes. But even if they don't do Doctor Strange 3, we know that Stephen Strange and RDJ's Doctor Doom have some of the most important sequences in the entire multiversal saga. That's coming from Alex Perez. Alex Perez, very, very reliable. So I believe him. And it also lines up with a lot of the stuff that happened in Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars with Stephen Strange and Rabom Alal, Doctor Doom. So incredible stuff happening here. And I'm really excited to see more of that. And it's good to hear that he's excited about it too. You know, you want the actors to feel invigorated and excited about the stuff. Right? Cumberbatch also touched on his early years, reminiscing on his early iteration or initiation into acting at top UK public school Harrow under the tutelage of late renowned drama teacher Jeremy Lemon, who was also mentored the likes of Richard Curtis before turning his attention to the Oscar-nominated roles in The Power of Dog and The Imitation Game. The actor said he loved receiving the nominations, but did not get too worked up about winning the final prize. It's very nice, but for me, it's just about the quality of the work. And if it leads to more opportunities and great filmmakers because they've seen your work, because it's been feted or talked about in conversation that happens around this kind of time, then great, he said. Other than that, I can take it or leave it. To be honest, it means a lot to be included, and I respect that, but the value for me is that it brings me into close contact with my collaborators and with people whose shoulders I'm standing on or have stood on. A chance to thank them, to acknowledge them, and also to meet and watch the work and celebrate the work of fellow artists, fellow actors, musicians, writers, directors, producers. You know, it's about the sense of community. Interesting. Asked from the floor whether his near 100 roles had left a mark on him personally, Cumberbatch said he worked hard to stay grounded. It's very important to hold on to the things that help you understand who you are, and as you evolve through life as a human being and outside of your work, and especially in my line of work, and especially with the kind of focus that it gives you, he said. This isn't a very natural thing, you know, what I'm doing right now, talking to all of you, but the person in here that's carrying this through and trying to communicate to you is someone who's tied to people that they've known for a long time in their life, tied to family, tied to children, tied to things that keep me grounded. I'm not afraid to tackle darkness or difficulty or the less attractive sides of the human condition, as long as I know there's a space to take that off and put that on. And I feel safe in doing that, then I'm good. Oh, interesting comments there by Benedict Cumberbatch. He also did confirm, and this came from an interview, I believe this is Japanese. So I think he was in Tokyo recently as well here. And he basically talked about how he was coming back for Avengers Doomsday. Okay? Let me see if I can find these comments for you right here. This is the article here, but it's like it's kind of like difficult because it was translated. So it's kind of like difficult to get back to what he was saying here. So let me try to, if I can just find the comments here. I had it pulled up earlier. This is what I need Adam for. This is what he's going to do as far as producing the show for totally for free because he lost that bet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Huh. Really can't seem to find it. That's so weird. So weird, because you'd think that would be pretty big news. He confirmed he was coming back for Doomsday. He said he was really excited to work with the Russo brothers again, and he said he was really excited to work with Robert Downey Jr. again. Pretty crazy. Let me see. Did I share anything about this? No, I did not. Oh, man. That's a shame. Somebody probably already has it linked in chat. Let me see. I didn't lose yet. I mean, I'm going to buy $50 million worth of tickets. Damn, there you go. Probably cheaper to just work for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably going to be less crazy to do that. All right, let me see if I can find this, bro. This is wild. Doctor Strange! Where's your comments? There's a lot of Marvel Rival stuff, too, which is kind of wild. Huh. Well, okay, so regardless, guys, he did say that he was excited to come back. Now, Jeff Snyder has also been talking about how Sam Raimi is essentially confirmed to be in creative control and to be the director of, what do you need me to find? The comments yesterday made by Benedict Cumberbatch about being in Doomsday, basically. So we know he's going to be in Doomsday. We know he's excited to talk about the Russos, Doctor Doom, all that interesting stuff, right? But Jeff Snyder has been scooping stuff about Doctor Strange 3 recently. So we still don't know for sure if, like, Doctor Strange 3 is real. Is that actually happening soon? But there's a lot of signs that it is. It's not the secret movie that's shooting at the end of next year. That's Hulk vs. Wolverine or maybe Avengers vs. X-Men or some version of that. So it's possible that we will get Spider-Man 4, Doctor Strange 3, Hulk vs. Wolverine, and maybe even another movie via the Battle World kind of setup. I know that seems crazy, but I still technically think a lot of those rumors are possible, which is quite interesting. So big news coming out yesterday about Doctor Strange and him being in Doomsday, talking about the future of the character. Oh, you know what? Here's literally what he says right here. I literally have it right here. Not only can I work again, Robert Downey Jr., I'm excited to come back as Dr. Doom. You see what I mean? The translation's bad here, but this is what he said. This is it right here. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Cumberbatch did not reveal any story details about Avengers Doomsday, but the Doctor Strange actor did tease that some really cool developments are on the way. Based on the fact that Doctor Strange is one of the MCU's heroes with the most knowledge about the multiverse, the character will likely play a major role in the next Avengers movie. Doctor Strange messed with dark magic in his latest MCU appearance, resulting in the third eye, and it seems that Steven might be in for more surprises. Cumberbatch teased the possible consequences of Doctor Strange's action. I'm really excited not only to work with the Russo brothers again, but also to have Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doctor Doom. I think there's going to be some really cool developments ahead, and I'm excited to see what happens next. So those are the comments right there, guys. So again, confirming Doomsday, confirming working with the Russos, really cool stuff. But then when you add into it the rumors from Jeff Snyder, I mean, it really does seem like we could be getting a Doctor Strange 3 movie. And I would expect stuff to leak out about that relatively soon as well. So Marvel, man, continues to be cooking. I definitely want to open it up to questions in the chat and whatnot. But also, guys, like, I guess, with the context of, Chris Evans returning and Doc Strange returning and a lot of these other rumors, I kind of wanted to have a discussion about whether or not this is like slop, right? Because some people, and I really dislike this attitude, and I think it's kind of become this thing to be cool to shit on Marvel. Like I even saw a tweet yesterday about Chris Evans that went like viral, and it said something like being 45 and not having a career outside of Captain America is like a different kind of washed. And like this thing went viral, dude. It had like 100,000 likes, And, this attitude of like, besmirching or kind of side-eyeing or shit-talking, number one, the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general, but number two, the actors that have been associated with and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, it just feels weird to me. And I'm reminded of something that Alex Perez said recently in one of the Discord Q&As. And the OG Avengers coming back as like evil versions and them fighting against the new Avengers in Doomsday. Like, on one level, I could see how you would feel that's just like derivative and lazy. But it is literally done because of a character motivation. Like, the whole idea is to have the heroes of 616 be shell-shocked at having to fight evil versions of like the heroes that set them up on the path that they are on. That's the whole idea. It's literally being done because from a character perspective, it is interesting. And I think the people that just call it slop, I think they're actually practicing a dishonest, lazy, like lacking intellect take. I think they're actually doing the thing that they're accusing Marvel of doing. It's really like drone, engagement bait, not deep kind of criticism, super surface level. It's all the same things that they're accusing of Marvel of being. Now, obviously, I'm super biased, right? Because I'm like a big time Marvel fan and like I fucking love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think we're back, baby. But I thought it would kind of be an interesting conversation to have. Like, I would love to know what you guys think about this. Like, what do you think about this whole argument of like, it's all slop or it's all like derivative? Even some Marvel fans, like I saw this Wanda's attorney account, which is like, I don't know, she's super fucking cringe, to be honest with you. But I saw that account being like upset that the Masters or Multiversal Masters of Evil or whatever is just going to be evil versions of the OG Avengers. And again, I just think it's so intellectually dishonest to like derive that from the full scale possibilities of what this could actually be. You know what I mean? Darboyd says Marvel hasn't been slop for a while now. I mean, I think there's some slop, but like Kraven is slop. Like Morbius is slop. I mean, even Venom 3 is slop. I'll be real with you guys, though. I know we all love Deadpool and Wolverine, but it is a little bit of slop. Like, just to be real with you, Deadpool and Wolverine, like, I don't know if we're ready to have this conversation or not, but Deadpool and Wolverine is not as good as people think. It's just fun, right? Like, it's fun. It is a little slop. I'm going to be real. There's no fucking story there, like, at all. But the experience of Marvel itself and what they're building towards, especially like with these Avengers films, is like very far from slop. If some of the stuff we're hearing about Fantastic Four is true, it's very far from slop. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Russo brothers, you know, we kind of talked about this a couple of days ago, I think. The Russo brothers do not get enough credit for how human and emotional they made those movies. And I'm talking about all their movies, but I mean, just think about Infinity War and Endgame. Guys, there are so many moments in those movies, particularly in Endgame, which is not as tight of a movie as Infinity War. But as far as like an emotional conclusion, are you kidding me? Like, brother, skinny ass Tony Stark ripping out his own chest armor, throwing it on the table. My God, bro. Them going to see Tony with the daughter, him sending them away, but then he has to tinker and he cracks it, and then he, him, that first meeting when he drives up and finds Steve. Like, are you kidding me? Like, brother, everything worked. There's like a lot of emotion, and I would say even damn near elevated genre stuff that is happening in those movies. So I think the Russos are cooking. I think Kevin and a lot of people have had ideas for, how to do interesting character stuff when it comes to the next two Avengers movies for a while. I obviously know that Phase 4 had its issues. Phase 4 had its problems. There was so much goobly glob. But one of the reasons I'm so certain that they are going to turn this around is because Robert Downey Jr. coming back was not a hype play. It was a story play. Russos have been trying to tell you this for months. I've tried to shed some light on why I think it's happening. It's a story play. And it's about to be character driven and story. So, I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up because, we see a lot of how Twitter or social media reacts to these different pieces of news and these different, informations. But I'm actually quite excited for the next few years, genuinely so. And I think that it will be character driven, story driven. Yeah, man. So I'll open it up to questions, comments, concerns. As far as what do you guys think here? Let me try to catch up on some chats as well, and then we'll get on out of here. I'm interested too to see how the polling's doing. Verse, thanks for the 10 spot, brother. Says, hey Josh, I think Sony has a plan we're missing. They took heat for the Amazing Spider-Man 2, let Marvel take over, and then brought Andrew back in No Way Home, and fans loved it. There's more to their strategy. Oh, man, do I disagree. I mean, that's not to say that everybody over there is completely foolish, and they might have cool ideas to change things, but bringing Andrew back and doing him the right way, that's Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige. Period. It's not Tom Rothman. It's not Avi Arad. It's not any of these other people at Sony. So I just can't agree, man. They don't have a strategy as far as I'm concerned, and I follow it very closely. Now, I think they're finally learning, and maybe they'll formulate a new strategy, and maybe that'll be better. But yeah, I don't know, brother. That's a bold statement. Joshua says, "Why Twitch? Some of us don't have that shit." Well, I'm actually trying to get to the point where this channel and the shows are I basically want to keep this channel clean, quote unquote, where over and over again, I want the shows to be just talking about the news, breaking it down daily, and I want every thing that people see on this channel when they come to this channel or when they click to watch something, I want it all to feel similar. I want it all to be similar. Unfortunately, if I start just opening up other streams, it technically hurts the reach of some of our videos and some of the streams that we do over here. So to keep this channel clean, I'm going to be doing more streams on Twitch for like traditional streaming. Now, that is specific to my exact strategy for the next couple of years. And in order to do what I want to do, I have to make this channel much more clean, which just requires like any fun we want to do that's outside of the scope of like what to expect from these shows. We're going to do it on Twitch. So that's basically the answer. John Cross says, let's do Marvel Rivals and postpone the Daredevil deep dive until February, right before Born Again drops. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, brother. I meant Twitch. Yeah, I got you, bro. MCU Drew says Chris Evans is the true GOAT of the MCU. I mean, I don't agree, but I will say that his turn as Captain America was legendary, and I think that you don't have the same success without him. And I think he played brilliantly across of all the other actors, especially Robert Downey Jr. So I think he's a key element to the success, but he's not the GOAT. I mean, the GOAT is RDJ. Just hands down, man. RDJ was operating on another level there. C. Fisher, appreciate the 10 spot. Says, Josh, do you think that RDJ playing an evil version of an Avenger takes away from him being Victor Von Doom, which is supposed to be a whole different person from Tony? No, I don't, but that's because I have a theory that works this whole thing out. I've made many different videos about it, so I recommend you check some of those out. By the way, all of the theory videos that I've done on this are over 100K. Some of them are close to 200K. Like people have seen these videos, right? But yeah, you should check them out. Basically, my theory is that the entire Infinity Saga was a false reality, and that in the original universe of 616, like before the multiversal war, Robert Downey Jr. was Victor Von Doom. And he was never actually Tony Stark. So the Tony Stark we thought we knew during the Infinity Saga, he wasn't Tony Stark. That was a Victor Von Doom variant that was adopted by the Starks. So, yeah. The Exodus says, watching the OG Avengers do a politically correct theme Zoom conference before the election kind of took some of the juice out of their comeback for me. Really? That's so sad, man. That's so sad. A bunch of actors in Hollywood got up and said, vote for somebody, and then it didn't even work, and you're still going to hold it against them? I mean, look, you do you, but I find that to be pretty sad. Who gives a shit? JJ Lamone says, I ate a bunch of gummies and took my mom to Disneyland. Love y'all. Hashtag unity. What the fuck? Be safe. Filmic FPV says, sorry I'm late, Josh. Can you TLDR the entire stream for me in the form of a haiku? Nope. Aaliyah, thanks for the 5, said, Holland's negotiations for Spider-Man 4 caused the cancellation of the Sonyverse, if not directly, indirectly, because we know he wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah. Yeah, I speculated about this the other day, too. I absolutely think that hurt them, and I think that that was Tom Holland, but I really think it was Kevin Feige. I mean, I'm going to be real with you. I'd love to know for sure, and I don't, and I'm just speculating. But I think Kevin Feige was a big part of, like, kind of ruining stuff for Sony over the past couple of years. Don't get me wrong. Sony's going to Sony. They did all the stuff that he knew they would do, which is why he was trying to protect Tom Holland and protect his brand. But ultimately, yeah, I do think so. RJ Phyllis says, 20 months of nerd venging. Let's go. Thanks for the community and all the fun streams. Nerd Vengers for life. Hell yeah, brother. Appreciate the love tonight. Holland is not in Kraven? No. Why would he be in Kraven? Why would he be in Kraven? That would be like introducing Noel in the third and last chapter of a Venom series. Come on, bro. Yeah. We're in like minds about this. I agree. J.J. Abrams is pushing for his Superman movie. No, I don't. I don't have any thoughts. I say J.J. Abrams, just go away. I say J.J. Abrams, go away. Go get another multi-bajillion-dollar development deal and turn fucking nothing in for years. That's what I say to you, JJ. Go do that. Steve McTee, thanks for the 5 spot, says, thank you for being the only streamer who is still positive about the dope MCU stuff coming. I've left all socials. I just can't take the negativity. I think there is a good bit of people that are still positive about it. But yeah, I mean, I will agree that like the main narrative is taken over and just become like sort of shitty and negative towards it for sure. Now, look, Marvel didn't do themselves any favors. Obviously, Phase 4 was abysmal. The beginning of Phase 5 was really bad. They will have to earn back that reputation of dopeness. And at the end of the day, like just making cool shit that people want to celebrate is the way to do that. So if we can make it through 2025, which I think we will, there's going to be a lot of projects that I'm like, on. But We'll get past them, and there's some lit stuff coming. So, like, Daredevil's going to be sick. I think the movies are all going to be pretty good. As long as Captain America can be decent, then we're good. Fantastic Four, I think, is going to be fire. And, yeah, then it's all about San Diego Comic-Con next year. The promises of, like, what Doomsday really is and how that's all going to work out. And, yeah, I think that stuff's going to be sick. There will be no J.J. Abrams slander. He don't miss. Oh, man. Let's just say agree to disagree on that one. Dopeness like the Penguin? No, like actual dope stuff that people will actually watch. Did you see what Denise Camps responded to about his Chris Evans role in Doomsday in the Ultimate Comics? No, I did not. But to be fair, I don't know that I'm following Denise on my new Twitter account. I lost my like big juicy Twitter account, so now I have like the new little Twitter account. Yeah, JJ has been known to miss a couple of times here and there. Oh shit! What did I do? What did I do? Oh, okay. Weird. JJ's Alias show was peak. It was pretty good. JJ was also involved in Fringe, and Fringe was pretty good too. I liked it. But, yeah, he's not really that guy. Hickman's Ultimate Universe, Reed is Doom, and Tony is Kang. Yes, that is true. That is true. Although he's just Iron Lad for now. But, yeah. Unless I miss something. I'm a little bit behind on that comic for sure. Hey, look, everybody says Marvel Rivals. You know what that means, guys? Tonight at 7:30, we're going to be doing Marvel Rivals again. Head on over to the Twitch. Can't wait to see you tonight. We're going to play, not watch, we're going to play some Marvel Rivals tonight. And I'll play with a bunch of different people in the community. Maybe we'll do some ranked, too. So we'll try to get, like, the really good people in there. Like, if you've got a high rank in Marvels and you can prove that you have a high rank, yeah, maybe we'll put you on the team. You know, get some ranked wins tonight, starting at 7:30, unless, too, we could also just make it a Warhammer stream, and we could just get into Warhammer. Like I said, ton of new rules, so we could break down all the new Warhammer rules. Fringe was dope. Hell yeah, dude. Fringe was great. Are we going to get it 6 versus 6 Nerd Vengers lobby? We absolutely should. Which, by the way, Justin, if you're still in here, I hope you understand, like, it's not that I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to put Rob through the rigmarole of having to get into our custom match. You know? It was cool to be able to play with Rob, so I just did what was easiest to be able to play with him. What about some custom games? I'm down, dude. I'm down. Yeah, let's do it, baby. I'm glad you guys are having so much fun with Rivals, man. I'm having fun, too. It was funny to play with Rob last night, man. We had some good games. It was cool. Yeah. Rigmarole creates characters? What? Verse with a 10 spot says, both seem true. RTJ as Doom feels story-driven, but with Kevin avoiding the Russos, Phase 4's fallout, and the Russos pitching Doom years ago, it raises some interesting questions. Absolutely. I mean, I think the hubris of Kevin Feige and the hubris of Marvel Studios, because I don't think it was just Kevin, right? Like, basically, here's what happened. After Infinity War and Endgame, every single one of those executives probably felt like they had the biggest balls on the planet. Like those episodes of South Park where they put their balls in the microwave. Like, that's how big they thought their balls were. They thought they could do no wrong. They thought they were fucking invincible. And that led to a bunch of silly decisions just up and down the board. And yes, I think they all were so obsessed with like the MCU brand that they forgot that like Marvel itself is bigger than the MCU and there's good stuff out there, right? But if you look at X-Men 97, you look at Daredevil Born Again, you look at bringing the Russos back, it seems that they have pivoted away from that decision. So it's like the way I look at it is, for whatever reason, Kevin seemed to want to really get out on their own and solidify the Marvel brand as not needing McFeely and the Russos and being so good that they can almost do anything. That just was proven to not be the case. I feel like they took their licks and then they changed their mind and now they've pivoted back into a good direction. And by the way, too, they did all of this behind the scenes. I mean, you and I only know this because we follow it so closely and we're still speculating. Most people have no fucking idea and they're just going to see it like get back on board and like Feige's going to look like a genius because of all the shit that's happening. So yeah, no, I think that's fair. I mean, I don't think that Feige is completely infallible, but how you respond to difficulty and how you respond to like true adversity, that's like really what makes a champion. In the realm of sports, this is obvious. We can see it as like a microcosm for life. But if Marvel can actually turn this around, which I think they can and I think they will, that is also an incredible response to adversity. You know what I mean? Like truly incredible response. And they're still the biggest game in town. It's just like, it's just an interesting time to be like a Marvel fan. And I think that we're going to be proven historically correct within the next year or two. But for now, of course, there's still a lot of things lingering just because of Phase 4 and all that sort of stuff. Warhammer podcast. Discord is wild. Love the community. Dude, the Discord is great. Love seeing you over there too, man. Discord is great. What the hell is this? Cinema Blend article from 2018. What are you sending this to me for? Who gives a shit? What the fuck? Article in 2018. Kevin Feige likes diversity. Like every goddamn studio in Hollywood. Who gives a shit? Which is crazy. They actually turned around their tanker. Most other studios would have to admit they messed up, let alone... I mean, look at what Sony's doing. Look at what Star Wars is doing. Does it appear that Star Wars has learned their lesson and knows what's wrong? Does it appear that Sony has learned their lesson and they know what's wrong? I mean, just look at what's happening. You know, there was a time where I covered Star Wars as much, if not more, than when I covered Marvel. Like, really. You know, they were kind of like neck and neck. Guys, I fucking abandoned Star Wars. Like, pretty much. Like, I still talk about it a little bit here and there, but, like, I abandoned that shit. It's over. Like, they fucked it up so bad that, like, I don't even see a path forward. I damn sure don't see a path forward considering what they're actually planning and what we know about their plans. Like, what? Marvel's legit. Like they legit have a way out, a way forward. That's what it is. It's crazy. I think a lot of us get it. Like the people that are really in it and that are really like studying this pop culture thing and like look around, we get it. We understand what's going on. But we're going to have to be proven correct with all the stuff that Marvel does moving forward. And I'm rooting for them. Captain America's a big question mark. Thunderbolts looks great. Fantastic Four looks great. Don't forget DC too. I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, look, they're doing their thing right now. James Gunn is like trying, and we'll see. Superman might turn it around. I came here because of Star Wars. I understand. What a waste to get the Bear actor, great actor, in a terrible time. I know. It's just, it is what it is. It's kind of sad. But also, Warhammer's about to kick off. That's going to take over everything. That's going to be bigger than Marvel. It's going to be bigger than everything. Warhammer's the new thing. We all fucking love Warhammer here. Chat, let's get some W's in the chat for Henry Cavill's Warhammer Cinematic Universe. Let's go. Let's go. Do you think the Russos will ruin Hulk again? Oh, man, it's funny you say that. I have a video coming out in the next few days about the plan to fix the Hulk. And, dude, Boner. Not Ralph Boner, like fucking nerd Boner. Like, hang a wet towel on that shit. Like, I'm talking about, like, thick-ass nerd Boner. It's good. It's got me excited. That's what I'm trying to say. It's got me excited. Rebel Hammer? God damn it, Nerdcore. Are you going to cover Game of Thrones content still? Like House of the Dragon? Yeah, when it comes out, for sure. We'll figure it out. Comic Things says, Josh, did you see the backlash Gunn is getting over that moaning post sound that he posted online? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I try not to hit Gunn on the fact that he's just like a weirdo and a creep, because it actually doesn't matter as much to me that he is a weirdo and is a creep. That's fine. And also, he's kind of like an edgelord, and like a lot of his fans are edgelords, et cetera, right? I try to hit Gunn from the angle of like, he's legitimately fucking this up. He needs to get off social media. He needs to stop doing all this conversational bullshit. He is fucking it up. And it's not because he's a weirdo. It's because he is not qualified to do this job. Right? So, yeah, I see stuff like that, and there's all the, like, his tweets that he got fired for. Like, I could be bringing up how he wants to bang Justin Bieber, like, over and over again. If I wanted to be bad faith, I would hit him because he's a weirdo. I don't care that he's a weirdo. Like, frankly, I'm a weirdo. Like, a lot of us are fucking weirdos. It's fine. I think he's legitimately doing a bad job as president. That's what I want to hit him on. You know what I mean? So I appreciate when some of the energy comes in and people are like, did you see this? Did you see this? What do you think about Gunn doing this, that, second, and third? Like, even the stuff where he did that thing with the guy's dad. I was like, yeah, he's a fucking psychopath. But I'm not trying to make videos about it. I'm not trying to make a whole ass stream where we psychoanalyze James Gunn's behavior. He's a weirdo. That's it. Who cares? You know, that's not it. That's not what you hit him on when you want to be good faith, right? Because it just feels like then you're just being shitty, and you're like, even going after his appearance is like a little bit weird. Like, I feel like anytime you go after someone's physical appearance, you're losing an argument, and it's bad faith. The white hair, spiky shit is wild, though. It is pretty wild. I try to be good faith. You know what I mean? I try to be good faith. Warhammer better not be the new Rebel Moon. God damn it. I never should have backed that Rebel Moon train. Holy Rebel Moon. You really let me down on that one, Zach. I'll never live that shit down. I bet Zack Snyder will live that shit down before I will live that shit down. Holy. It then becomes an ad hominem. I've heard the words ad hominem before, but I don't know what they mean. But I'm just going to agree with you, Adam. What tweets did he get fired for? You can look it up. Gunn is frustrating. A good filmmaker who alienates me through his interactions on social. There's so many times he's caught in a lie. Even worse, condescending fans. Just like, make the movies, man. Yeah, no, I mean, that's what it is. And that, I think, is like good faith. Like, you could say that, and a lot of people are saying it. Like, I think Jeff just did a whole newsletter article about this shit. Like, he needs to get off social media. And it's one of those weird things where, like, a person like Gunn, frankly, a person like Gunn needs a person like Zaslav. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's what it is. And I think Zaslav is the only kind of person that could really keep Gunn in line. By the way, he's not really doing that right now, but we'll see. An argument of or reaction directed against a person rather than the position. Yeah, fair. Yeah. That's totally fair. Yeah, and a lot of people do that, and I think it's because, like, honestly, the internet is just internet Thunderdome, and you can win an argument by like just saying some shit that has nothing to do with the position of a person, and just by like making fun of their appearance or, you know, making fun of their lack of clout, social status, or whatever, like all that kind of stuff. It's all bad faith. Argue on the merits, you know, make a principled argument. That's what I try to do. But you're my nerdy Google, Josh. Yeah, but I just explained why I'm not interested in engaging in looking at that kind of stuff and like talking about it, you know? So I'm your Google that has boundaries. You can't just type all over me. You can't just make me say whatever you want like a puppet, not until the AI thing goes to the next level, and then fuck, I can't control shit. Ooh, can we do a stream tomorrow fan casting Warhammer characters to get into it? Brilliant! Brilliant comics things! You know, you've got a couple of bad takes, and sometimes you send me articles that aren't really articles, but I like this. Fan casting Warhammer. That's a good thing to get mad on for, too. Maybe I'll hit up Nerd of the Rings and see what he's doing. you thought Kraven was going to be good. I mean, I had heard decent things behind the scenes. Trailers didn't look terrible. Good actors, you know. Let's go. I'm down for that. Oh, hell yeah. That would be fun. That would be really fun. Yeah. Any Nerdhammer updates? No, I got to sit down and have like a meeting with Matt so we can kind of iron this out and figure out the logistics of it, but we'll get it going soon. Maybe this weekend, if he has some time, I'll be able to hit him up. Maybe I could hit him up. All right, everybody. Hey, much love to you all. By the way, I know these morning streams and shows are a little bit shorter now. That's just because I'm trying to just get the news. I want to have a daily dose that's not too crazy, because although a lot of us just like streaming and like chilling and hanging out, it's not what people have kind of come to know me for. They want nerdy updates and commentary. They want me to be on the spot with what is going on a day-to-day basis within the nerdy realm. Okay? So I'm trying to deliver something that's a nice hour, hour and a half, 2 hours a day that is breaking down the news. And then I'm trying to do other stuff outside of that, maybe on Twitch, maybe in other places. So I appreciate your patience on that. We'll be live tonight, 7:30 on Twitch. And we will be playing some Marvel Rivals. Oh, awesome, brother. I appreciate that, Adam. I do. I am going to get on out of here, though. Do you have proof for what you just said? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't need proof. I'm a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? All right, everybody. Much love. Appreciate you all, man. Happy freaking holidays. I hope you're spending some time with the family, having some fun, winding down the year, man. It's going to be cool. I'll see you all tonight at 7:30 over on Twitch. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you on the next video. And Rossi, thanks for the 5 right at the end. Says, if people want to hang out, they should come to the Discord. 100%. Discord is sick. Get on over to the Discord. All right, see y'all. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. Aw, man. Another happy landing. Sony gonna Sony. Marvel gonna Marvel. Skeleton Kids gonna Skeleton Kids. And the Nerd Vengers are gonna Nerd Venge. Yeah. Yeah, man. Those holiday vibes. Those holiday vibes, guys. You know, I need some eggnog. Christmas dinner. Snowball fights. Christmas trees and decorations. My Marvel rank is higher than Josh's, though. What the fuck? Well, then you better carry me tonight, bro. Holy shit. Much love to you all, man. Feel those powerful nerd-venging vibes. Together we cannot be stopped. Does it have an echo and a thing? I mean, it does, but the echo's like not very good, you know what I mean? I did this and then it's got all the other shit on it. So I got other shit on here, compressing it, so it doesn't work as good, you know what I'm saying? All right, everybody. Remember, open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt house.